समझ नहीं आ रहा अपने सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट का क्या करूं।
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स के एसआईपी का टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
क्या समझ में नहीं आया?
बेटा इतना क्या सोच रहा है? अपने म्यूचुअल फंड्स का एसआईपी टॉप अप करा ले। दिस इज द राइट टाइम।
अब समझा।
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
The aftermath of the horrific Stampede tragedy at Vijay's rally in Tamil Nadu is still being felt. While the images of human suffering are absolutely heartbreaking, and as often happens in India, a political blame game has broken out. Vijay, the superstar actor rather turned politician, has in fact suggested a conspiracy. Do people actually buy that? Vijay is being squarely criticized for leaving the scene of the stampede. There is human suffering, but there is also a cataclysmic political consequence for Tamil Nadu's war between DMK and Vijay and the other political parties. We'll try and understand the full consequence that is being felt on Tamil Nadu's political landscape after this horrific human tragedy. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. The country is still coming to terms with the horror that we saw unfold in Karur in Tamil Nadu, where Vijay, the superstar actor turned politician, was addressing these mammoth crowds. There were children and infants among those who were crushed to death in the stampede that broke out at this rally. Worse, Vijay was blamed for showing a lack of empathy, for not even staying back to help the people in need. Instead, he virtually fled the scene of the stampede. But since then, he has accused the DMK government of wanting vendetta. He has in fact said that the DMK is seeking revenge against him. As this political war breaks out, what does the latest snap poll by C Voters show about the mood among people? Could this abort Vijay's nascent political career before it has even started? And who will answer the heartbroken families of those who were killed in this stampede? Remember, babies, little babies, were crushed to death in this stampede. Let me introduce our guests on the program today as we look at the full import of what has happened in Karur. Joining me now is Sumant Raman, political analyst. Welcome to the program. We're also joined by Ranjana Nachiyar. She's a spokesperson for the TVK. Welcome, ma'am, to the program. Yashwant Deshmukh of C Voter is with us. C Voter has a snap poll on how people are looking at the horror of what has unfolded. And Salem Dharan, leader of the DMK, is with us. Welcome, Dharini, to the program. Good to see you. Let me actually start very quickly by asking Yashwant to give us an overview. Yashwant, it's quite a, I was going through your data, and it's quite a, I would say, balanced response from people. So, for example, 42.3% of people fully disagree with Vijay's allegation of conspiracy. 33% say that the incident severely dents Vijay's popularity, and another 28.9% say that it moderately dents, which means the majority of people are actually talking about Vijay's popularity being dented. Another nearly 50%, 45.5% to be precise, say it was a very poor reaction by Vijay to leave the stampede site. However, the DMK is not being given a clean sheet as well. 44.5% of people are blaming poor DMK policing, and only 26.7% are blaming the TVK, I beg your pardon, in this context. So what we're seeing is a rather balanced reaction here. We are seeing finger pointing, blame to the DMK administration, to DMK policing, but also a judgment of Vijay for how he has handled the human tragedy. So over to you before I get political reactions.
Thank you, Barkha. And Barkha, this is just a continuation of our tracker, which we have been doing even in Tamil Nadu, even though our focus has been largely on Bihar of late, but we have not published the Tamil Nadu tracker. But we have been tracking, and earlier we had said how Vijay's number have been growing up, and in the MOTN also we looked on to how he is kind of becoming almost out of the blue kind of a sensation or phenomena in Tamil Nadu politics, and could derail DMK and ADMK equations. This is why it was important to understand with this study that what exactly is the quick impact on this one. And as you mentioned, public is always very, very balanced. You see, all said and done, Barkha, they see through the things. On one hand, they simply said that okay, this is a tragedy, this is an event, it's an accident which can happen in any state, with any rally of any political party. That said and done, the administrative flaws or problem lie with the people who are in government, that is the DMK. There is no conspiracy which Vijay is alleging. And yes, there is a very, very damning impact as far as the leadership quality of is being questioned as far as Vijay is concerned. People are saying that the way he handled the crisis was quite unbecoming of a potential leader per se. So make no mistake, this has put up a significant dent or question mark on Vijay's leadership equation, the way he is being seen. People are blaming the administration, those who are in the government, for collapse of the administration. People are very clear that there is no conspiracy whatsoever. This is a tragic event. This is an accident which could have happened to anybody. So yeah, people of Tamil Nadu are absolutely level-headed about it and absolutely to the point about it.
And we have some of those numbers on the screen, and I'll get Yashwant to elaborate on them further as we go along. Let me get first reactions. I'll start with Ranjana and Dharani Dharan. Mr. Dharani Dharan, if I may bring you in. If you look at these numbers, Vijay is definitely being criticized for leaving the scene of the stampede. He is definitely being criticized for alleging a conspiracy. But the DMK is being blamed in this snap poll for poor policing. 44.5% blame DMK for poor policing, and an almost equal number say it was very poor reaction by Vijay to leave the stampede side. To me, this seems a very balanced reaction from the public. As a DMK leader, how do you react?
See, firstly and foremost, we have to see how the survey has been. Let me not get into it. My party, my government, and other spokesperson, including myself, did not want to make politics out of this. In fact, on the day of the incident, when the CM and the deputy chief gave an interview, they said we don't want to do politics. It's a right of any leader to look to go and meet their people. But for us, it was very important on the initial days until today is to make sure that all those injured are cured, and then those who have lost their kith and kin, they are taken care of. That was the first and foremost important for us. And secondly, what was important was to make sure to see and analyze what has gone wrong. That is why you're seeing this arrest now. And thirdly, we have to understand why this has happened. If you give me a few minutes, I'll chronologically explain you. This is not happened now. In fact, an ex-DVK has said during their first conference, which happened, in fact, nearly 420 people had fainted. And again in Tiruchi, if Vijay had come a few minutes late, the TVK cadres would have gone inside the Tiruchirappalli airport, which is under the CISF. He just came at the right moment. And even during the Tiruchi roadshow, when the police initially did not give him permission, he kept saying, no, DMK does not want him to speak, to go for the roadshow because we are threatened by him. And second, when he gave a list, then we again agreed to give permission. Then we gave a list of conditions. And he again went and spoke to SCADA saying, oh, they gave the conditions because they're threatened by me. But then they went to the court against these conditions. What did the court say? See, as in a democratic country, you can go see your cadres. This is your duty. But if anything wrong happens, it is your responsibility. Similarly, here, we gave a permission to host a rally with certain conditions. Right? What is the conditions we gave? And they said they're not more than 10,000 people would be congregating there. Why was this venue given? Because this venue can host more people in comparison to the other venues that the TVK suggested. They suggested two other venues which are only single road. This is 2-lane road. That is a single lane road. And did this venue have a capacity to host 10,000 people? Yes. Only a few weeks before this incident, AIDMK hosted a road show there. Even my party has hosted a number of events there. To make it very clear in the past 3-4 years. Even ADMK has hosted even for 2.5 lakh people. My party has hosted events regularly for about 5 lakh people, including the Youth Wing Conference in Feb 2024. Why nothing untoward happened? Because we followed the procedure. Here, what happened was Vijay, first of all, came very late. He was supposed to come to Karur at 12 o'clock. He came at 7. No arrangements for water, no arrangements for
Yeah.
food. Right? So, because of that, people have started fainting even before he arrived. Even in Namakkal itself, where he spoke first at 1 o'clock, to 30 to 37 people had to be taken to the hospital. And when Vijay was going to Karur, he made a biggest blunder. I think this is the reason which even my police instructed him not to do. What was the biggest blunder? Normally his procedures, you stand up the caravan in the podium and wave to people. They will see him and go back. Or he will sit in the front row with the lights on, and then he will wave at them. They'll have a look at him and go back. Today, for some 1 to 2 kilometers or for a certain number of kilometers, he went inside the caravan. The lights were turned off. So people for 1 kilometer. This he did not inform the police. This was not agreed. In a roadshow, is completely supposed to stand up. So because for number of kilometers, people could not see him, they had to follow him. And when police sensed this, police stopped his caravan and asked him to not to go further, stop here itself. But then he did not listen. Rather, his driver did not listen, and then he moved forward. It was the DSP who had informed this. He has informed this cadre this. Then, when he went up the podium, his bouncers had come and told him people are fainting. He did not stop. He carried on. But when there are already 10,000 people there and another 10,000 people are following him, when it was not agreed in the permission they sought, at that point of time, there were 500 police there, right? For 10,000 people, it's just 20 police officers. Sorry, just one police officer for 20 people, right? Which is higher than usual. Normally, you have one police officer for 100 people or 200 people in such scenarios. But here you had one police for 20 people. But because the crowd started moving, because he had to go in the caravan and they could not see him, they followed him. This is what people have also told in all the interviews. If you look at Tamil news channels, even in X platform, people have told we couldn't see him, that's why we had to follow him. So, and this was his responsibility not to listen to the police, but though he was continuously blaming the police in the last few months, 20 minutes before this tragedy was the first time ever he said the police have done a good job today, only because of them I was able to come here. So that you have to say important point to note that police have done his job. But again, when people were fainting, ambulance was coming. Who called for the ambulance? It was the TVK that has called for the ambulance. Who requested for electricity to cut? It was the TVK. Though we did not do it, TVK has given a letter, which is out on the platform. So now to come and say completely that is all DMK is doing, it's a conspiracy.
So
it's walking out from accountability. And more important point, he started throwing water to people. So only 7 water bottles. What happens when his fans see him as God? You throw water bottles. What will happen? People rush to get, not to drink that water because our leader is giving us something. So that was again irresponsibility. So
no one is saying no one is saying Vijay is blameless. I think what Sea Voters poll shows is there's anger with both. Do you accept, while listing all of these faults of Vijay, that the DMK policing could have been better? Before I get Ranjana ji in.
See, the policing was really good, and that is the reason why if in the last 4.5 years any rally, anything has happened, or last 75 years in Tamil Nadu anything has happened, no. Here he has profound disdain for rule of law. It was anarchy prevailing there because he himself instructed his cadres that police is acting against us. So they were attacking the police, they were attacking the ambulance. So this was a very unique situation that has never happened in Tamil Nadu. Normally, even in my ruling party being DMK's events, police control the cadres, including the MLAs. Police will stop them, don't go here, don't go there, and they will listen and go. Here, because Vijay had created a perception of anarchy and also a distrust for the police force, saying that completely acting against Vijay and him coming to power, which he has number of times informed previously. Because of that, they started attacking the police. And in that 10-15 minutes,
let's get reactions from Ranjana and Sumant and then come back to Yashwant on how the public is actually reacting. Ranjana Nachiyar, you have heard the long list of criticisms both in the Sea Voter poll and by Mr. Dharani Dharan. Vijay has been roundly criticized in particular for leaving the scene. And then, of course, there are all of these other things that have been listed. He was throwing water bottles. The cavalcade was 1 kilometer wrong. The lights were turned off and so on. Do you own responsibility for what has happened?
This is completely a conspiracy created by DMK.
What do you
That
mean?
is what people state. Yeah, this is a complete conspiracy. See, yes, Vijay is delayed. First thing I would like to answer, yes, Vijay is delayed. He's not sleeping inside the caravan or not going for any movie show and coming for the rally. He is in the rally because of the traffic and the early engagements happened in Namakkal. He was delayed. He is there for the rally, and we have instructed the police and the people there that Vijay is here and there. Every minute, every second, we are informing them where we are. Okay. So the delay was not intentional. And next thing, why Vijay was not there in the scene? Because if he was there in the scene again, this tragedy will be much more bigger. To avoid such situations, to avoid so many unfortunate things happening, he left the place. And please don't forget, he's not a normal star. He's a superstar. And we want to safeguard our leader also. So don't forget about our laws of Rajiv Gandhi. Because of the safety protocol, we have lost Rajiv Gandhi because of one. It's completely a conspiracy. Do you agree? The same thing. It should
No,
not
I
happen
don't.
again.
I don't agree that it's a conspiracy. I want to share with you. I want to share with you that 42.3% of people polled in C Voter by Yashwant fully disagree with Vijay's allegation of a conspiracy. Ranjana ji.
No, today BJP has sent 6 MPs and they have spoke to the people who are injured there. In the injured persons, they have stated that some people were there with knives and some other things. They have how did these kind of things come into the rally?
So are you saying that the DMK has engineered this stampede?
Definitely they have engineered something. It is the
Oh,
plan. It is a planned murder. You will definitely come to know after a lot of enquiries. Now
okay. I'm
requested the CBI to
I
come into, and you will definitely come to know in another week or couple of weeks that the truth will
okay.
come out.
Okay, before Sumant comes in and we go back to Yashwant, Dharani Dharanji, you have a quick, brief rebuttal, please. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's completely preposterous and laughable. Why is that when the law and order is under the state, it's a state subject under my government, why is that we ourselves will go and orchestrate this? This is completely not taking responsibility. I have listed the reasons why this has happened. At the least, they should have said next time we'll make sure this does not happen. See, even if Vijay could not go, any of the TVK leaders should have gone there, no? Have they gone? None of them had gone. In fact, I'll tell you one anecdote. Kalaniyar Karnanadi passed away. During that time, when people had gone to pay respects to him, 3 people had fainted and were admitted in the hospital. The present chief minister on the same evening, right after burying his father, went and met them. Right, same day he did it. That is politics. It's not that going and meeting them for 2 weeks. Politics is not movie making, right? One day of the week you will act, then you'll go home, you'll enjoy, then come back next day, next Saturday of the week you'll go and act. Politics a 24/7 job. That is why Chief Minister 9 o'clock convened high profile meeting. 2 a.m. in the morning he was there. If Vijay, okay, agreed is a big star, he can't go, he'll get law and issue. What happens? What stopped the second ring leader like Busi Anand or Adav Arjun or other deputy secretaries from going there? And or Vijay could have stayed in Karur itself, no, or somewhere close by in Coimbatore he could have stayed and then created a strategy to create a strategy to what to do for the people who lost their lives. They're his people, right? People have
Okay.
come to see him.
Okay, so we have two completely extreme perspectives on this stampede. It is not what the people of Tamil Nadu are actually saying. That's what I opened by saying, that the people have had a pretty rounded response, Sumant. And for anybody who's just joining us, I'm quickly going to go through Yashwant's figures very briefly. Basically, 44.5% people blame poor DMK policing. However, nearly as many people say it was a very poor reaction by Vijay to leave the side. More than 50% people say Vijay's popularity and political career will be impacted by this, and 42.3% fully disagree with Vijay's allegation of a conspiracy. Somat Raman. Can we unmute Sumant? Sumant, unmute yourself, please. Yeah, yeah. Sumant, you're on
No,
mute.
no,
Now
I've
we can hear
unmuted.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, let me make a few points very quickly. First of all, I don't think the majority of people believe that the DMK deliberately engineered a conspiracy. So I think that that is not the point. Having said that, the alacrity with which the response happened contrasts very sharply with the response of the same government to earlier tragedies in the state. 68 people died in a Hooch tragedy. When did the chief minister go and see them? Here, the chief minister was on a special aircraft 4 hours after the event in the middle of the night, rushing to see the victims and their families. So, by the way, I think Mr. Dharnidharan has forgotten there was a stampede at an air show in Chennai last year where 5 people died. I think he has forgotten that when he says it has never happened in our state. So it is just a year ago, and his government was the one. Again, there was no queue of ministers or chief minister going and visiting those families. So what has triggered the suspicion, Barkha, is not anything other than the speed with which the response happened. Ministers rushed there within hours. They are ministers who are in tears. This whole thing happened in a space of 2 to 3 hours. That people said, "Hey, wait a minute. We've seen tragedy after tragedy over the years, and we've never seen such a lightning fast reaction." So that is what made people suspicious. Not so much. I don't honestly believe that it was deliberately caused. But having said that, the reaction of Vijay and the TVK has been simply appalling. It's almost like a complete failure of leadership. Look, Barkha, that night, yes, perhaps he was in a state of shock, and he just was not thinking properly. He just took the flight and came back to Chennai. What about the next day? Let's assume, hypothetically, the government did not give him permission to go back. Imagine Vijay makes an attempt to go to Karur and the police arrest him on the way. Imagine what it does for him politically. He wants to be with the families, he wants to come and meet the victims, and the DMK government is stopping him. That would have given him a huge political boost. Instead, he sits in Chennai and makes no attempt to go and visit Karur, commiserate and offer his condolences to the family, and says, "I'll give 20 lakhs." I mean, it is an appalling failure of leadership, and I think Yashwant's poll reflects the picture very accurately. He is severely dented as a leader. This whole argument of going and saying, "I'm going to be the chief minister in 2026, and anybody who wants to align with me will have to accept me as a CM candidate," that is history now. I don't think that that's going to be feasible anymore. Having said that, the video that he put out, Barkha, was bizarre. There was no acceptance of moral responsibility. Forget the legal part. Maybe he didn't want to say, we are at fault, because that might carry certain legal responsibilities. Morally, those people, for God's sake, came to see you and they lost their lives. Morally, you are liable, you are responsible. And there was not one word in that video accepting that he was wanting to say sorry.
So what I'm
Nothing
hearing
was-
from you, Sumant, is that Vijay's
Yeah.
response to the tragedy was appalling. He's severely dented as a leader. And
Yes.
in terms of the DMK, you don't think people will accept Vijay's conspiracy theory, but you believe the DMK was trying to milk the tragedy by the ministers
they
rushing to the.
they were 1 second, Barkha. They were
Yeah.
trying to exploit it, and
Yeah.
I think they crossed the line. I think it started to backfire big time. Today, in fact, multiple senior journalists who've spoken on social media in Tamil Nadu have echoed the same line,
And
saying
there's.
that, look, they have
Yeah.
gone overboard with trying to target
Okay.
Vijay. It's backfiring now.
Okay, so I think that's a pretty nuanced criticism of both sides. Of course, primary responsibility being put at Vijay's door by Sumant Raman. Before Dharan comes
Not
in,
a
Yashwa, sorry, I
but
can't. I
just
can't
to
hear.
add,
Yeah.
not a single policeman, not a single local administration member has been suspended or action taken as of this moment. Okay, so I just want to point that out. In Chinnasamy Stadium collapse, the
Yeah.
entire senior police machinery in Bangalore was shunted out.
Yeah.
Right? You remember there was a stampede in the Chinnaswamy Stadium, not the stadium collapse. A stampede in the stadium where 11 people died, and the senior police officials were all shunted out. Here, yesterday, all the senior bureaucrats are holding a press conference saying they've appointed a commission of inquiry.
Okay.
Can you believe it,
I,
Barkha? The
I,
government
I
holds a
think
press
I
conference
think that's a fair question. Why has there
and
been no
says that
action?
nothing. Yeah, no, we have done nothing wrong.
Before Mr. Dharanidharan and Ranjana Nachia respond to that, Yashwant, let's come back to your numbers, right? I think you've heard the two political parties. The TVK continues to argue this is a conspiracy, though your numbers show, if we can actually go to that slide, that 42.3% of all people polled across political affiliations say that they fully disagree with this conspiracy. Only 15% agree. Only 15% of all people are willing to buy the conspiracy theory, right? 11% neither agree nor disagree. Now, let's talk about this. You just heard Ranjana saying this is a ploy by the DMK. You also heard Suman saying that DMK could have done better in not exploiting or not being seen as exploiting this tragedy. Now, take us through your numbers in the light of these comments.
See, when I look at these numbers, Barkha, I mean, few things come up very clearly. I'm sure that the viewers are looking at the graphics very clearly. As we mentioned, I am not even going to those who are fully disagreeing if they were confident. Look into the number, fully agree. It's only 15%. That means almost 85% people in Tamil Nadu are doubting if it was the conspiracy as such. Number one. Number two, almost similar kind of number is kind of not willing to give a clean chit to DMK administration, saying that no, it was Vijay's fault, it was not an administration fault. So people are very clear. The moral responsibility lied with Vijay, the administrative responsibility lied with the DMK, and both kind of failed. Number one. Number two, I just can't help but remember 11 years back, Sumant, you remember during the run-up to the 2014 Lok Sabha election, in Mr. Modi's rally in Bihar, bombs went off. There were bomb blasts, you remember? And it was live on TV everywhere. And these are the kind of movements, I must say, which make or break a leader. The way Mr. Modi handled that day, the crowd, taking full responsibility, asking people to calm down, take the exit road easy, without rushing, so that there is no stampede, that nobody loses life. That kind of established Mr. Modi. Forget about the Modi wave and everything. I genuinely believe that day on live TV, it kind of established Mr. Modi's credential as a level-headed, responsible leader who can manage and handle a crisis situation. These kind of things, these kind of crises make or break movements in the cycle of a leadership. I think somewhere Vijay missed that one. As you mentioned as a run of the thing, he might have been overwhelmed. I am not disagreeing that he might not get overwhelmed. It's possible. But what after 24 hours? And then the kind of political circling that is taking place. Mr. Rahul Gandhi called up all the way to Mr. Vijay, rather than talking to his own chief minister at this point of time. And I agree that people should call, take care about each other. But 24 hours later, what we do hear from the Vijay camp, that arrest me if you dare. So that kind of approach, which is way less than remorse at this point of time, taking a moral responsibility, taking empathetically asking or showing sympathy to the people who have lost, or taking a responsible action that, okay, this is what I intend to do, and so that sense of responsibility wasn't there. And this entire claim that, that this is a conspiracy against us is not going down well with the people.
I think one of the things you've said very well is, Yashwant, and your numbers reflect that, is the moral responsibility lay with Vijay and the administrative responsibility with the DMK government, and both failed. Of course, the greater cross to bear will be on Vijay's shoulders. It was his rally. But Dharanidharan, Yashwant and Sumant's point is, where is the action against the DMK administratively? Why no action against the police? Why no announcement saying we will look into any administrative failure? Because you heard what Suman said about ministers rushing to hospital. How do you react?
See, firstly and foremost, we have to see what went wrong, right? If someone has made a mistake, then of course he or she should be punished. I'm not absolving anyone of blame, but right now there's an inquiry that's going on, an FIR has been filed, a single judge committee has been informed. Both are going to give the report soon. Immediately after this tragedy, my chief minister also said now a protocol will be in place for future such events, any political rally, any event. There's a state is going to prepare a template and a protocol
But do you
which has to
think
be
there
followed
should
by
be
everyone.
action
But
against police? Do you think there should be some action against the local
any
police?
action should happen or should not happen should be based on evidence, right? What went wrong, right? So for that you need to have a report. First and the foremost is take care of those who have lost their loved ones and then those who have been injured. And second is to file an FIR, right? FIR has been filed. And then what did we find? The Trichy district secretary of TVK has signed that not more than 10,000 people will attend. So he's been booked. He's been under judicial custody now. So he's going to be investigated,
Okay.
right? Then after that, the judicial inquiry will also investigate the local administrative officials along with whom? Along with the TVK functionaries and those present in the rally, those injured in the rally, and those of family members of the deceased. Based on that, if anyone is found wrong, action will definitely be taken. But why jump the gun and
Okay.
blame? By
Okay.
not, I'm saying this by
Let
not
it.
absolving. But what is important? But what one thing that is very important, which people have also told, everyone has spoken here, said accountability is very important for any politician, right? That's why I'm saying we are not absolving anyone. To have made a big blunder and then to say it is conspiracy, this is unheard in world
Okay.
politics. I think
Let
no
me
democratic leader has ever
let
said
me
such a statement.
let me get Sumant and Ranjana to respond because we have only a couple of minutes left, and then I want to give
second,
Yash.
Barkha.
Sumant. Yeah.
Barkha,
Sumant.
first of all, what Mr. Dharnidharan did not say is they've already given the local administration a clean chit. Yesterday, the Director General of Police, the Additional Director General of Police, and the Revenue Secretary to the government conducted a press conference where they gave them the government a clean chit, right? Very clearly. So now it's what do you expect the retired judge to do now? There's a commission of inquiry which they have appointed, and they are openly coming out and giving themselves a clean chit. So that is one issue. Second, I want to point out the last time the same judge also carried out an inquiry into the Sterlite firings, which in which around 22 people, I don't remember the exact number, but quite a number of people lost their lives in the shooting. Now, you must understand that the judge actually indicted some police officials, right, and recommended action against them. You know what they did? They promoted them. One of them who was an IG, was made an ADGP and allowed to retire honorably. Please ask Mr. Dharnidharan whether it is true or
Okay.
not.
I will just ask him, but I'll let Ranjana join. Add a comment, give Mr. Dharani a chance to respond, and have Yashwant close for us. We have 2 minutes left, so make this brief. Ranjana, nobody is buying this theory of a conspiracy.
200 to 300 people have reported that some strangers, some outsiders have thrown chappal on Vijay. So that incident only, it triggered commotion and panic in the rally. So only after that happens, the crowd got disturbed. Then the power cut. And one more thing, why not the ambulance should have taken the patients to the nearby neighborhood hospital? Why did they take to the faraway hospitals? And postmortems, actually rule says that postmortems should not happen after sunset. Why was in a hurry? And how is it possible to make all the postmortems in a night, in a single night? These all over suspicious questions yet to be answered, and only once we get answers for all these questions, we can come to a conclusion what happened there.
Okay. And what do you have to say about Vijay not even 24 hours doing anything, going to meet anybody?
Pardon?
What do you have to say about the central criticism that Vijay has been absent from basic human empathy, meeting people, going back, or even if immediately you felt he had to leave, why didn't he return?
He cannot go to that situation, madam. This is not cinema. He can't go there and show heroism there. He is a hero. He can show heroism in cinema, not in the practical life. Again, then loss of lives are there. He can't go there and show like how our DMK cadres go and started acting. They are crying there. With an immediate effect, they all flew away to the hospital. Why not they all come to the Kallakurchi issue? Why didn't they show their face in Kallakurchi issue? Why all of a sudden all these DMK
Why can't
cadres
he go? Why?
flying away
What
into the
is?
hospital there?
Why? You said he cannot go back and show heroism at the scene of tragedy. Why not? Why not? Why not?
I'm not hearing you, Barkha.
I'm saying, ma'am, you said he cannot go back to the scene of the stampede. This is not a movie. He cannot go back. I'm asking you, why not? What would happen if he went back?
Our protocol, our leaders' protocol, they have informed Vijay not to be there in that,
Why?
in that
Why?
situation.
I
It
am
is not
asking
safe.
why.
It is not safe. DMK people, some outsiders have come inside. It is not to just to protect the leader. The protocol people advised him not to be there.
Well, in my opinion, ma'am, it was wrong advice. That's all I can say to you. It was wrong advice. Maybe he's not an experienced politician. He's just entering politics. Whoever told him to keep away gave him absolutely the wrong advice. With humility, I will say that. I am no one to say it, but I'm expressing my opinion as an Indian citizen. That said, Dharani Dharanji, quick 30 seconds and Yashwant closes. Mr. Dharani Dharan.
I think again, I can't believe the kind of arguments why the ambulance came. Ambulance came because from 1 p.m. itself, people have been fighting and the ambulance had to come. Ambulance was called by TVK itself. There is a proof for it. And similarly, TVK itself had made a request for electricity to be turned off. So I don't understand why they're coming and making a hue and cry of the same matter here again, time and again. And electricity was not cut off. There are certain areas when they climbed the electricity pole. In the few road shows back, one TVK worker was electrocuted. Even that Vijay has not still not gone and seen. Of course, this has now gotten lot of reactions across the country. So we're discussing about this. But there, a couple of people died of electrocution. So a few weeks back on his rally, he didn't still go and see. Only after it was pointed out in a Tamil debate, after 4-5 days, then
okay, I think we've established. I think we've established. I have a question.
Point. The last point. See, it is very easy to always say that we politicians are wrong or the party and administration should be blamed for everything, right? But on the given day, on the circumstances, the police did their best, which is why Vijay himself said police doing a good job. You can see images of police trying to help the people who have fainted, right? When there is hypnotized crowd trying to act as hooligans at that 10-15 minutes when they have been taught by the leader,
Okay.
don't listen to the police.
I will say only this, and I'll give Yashwant the last word. Nothing is worth, no politician is worth dying for. No movie star is worth dying for. And you know, we have to remember that when as public people, if people come to hear us, if people come to watch us, we have to try our best to create a safe, enabling environment, because they're coming because of us. And it is a horrible tragedy that has happened. Little children have died, and we must not lose sight of that. Yashwant, one of the interesting questions you asked in your survey is, do we still need these physical rallies? And a lot of people said, yes, we do. Giving you the last word.
So yeah, people like the rallies, people like the physical contact, even in this new age of internet and everything. But yes, we definitely do need a national disaster management policy as far as the rallies and these kind of gatherings are concerned. I believe that the North takes a lot of heat for how the politics in the North is played out. But let me tell you, there are things to be learned even from poor states like mine in Uttar Pradesh, where we have rally grounds in every district where people do gather, and it is much more managed and better managed. Having said that, I think
Mr. Dharan is not agreeing, but never mind. It's okay.
See, I do not want to come and intervene, but having said it, what happened during Kumbh Mela,
There is
what
a
happened
rally
during
ground in
Hathras,
Karur.
but I've never said this because I don't want to do politics with this. But it's been happening across
There
the
are
country.
rally grounds
But I'm
in
not
Karur.
saying my government. I'm not
Yeah.
saying to compare
Okay.
my government with the other government. But I think this is not the right thing to do. Right?
Okay,
I don't want to do at this point.
the Kumbh reminder is also a grim reminder.
Reminder is there. The kind of scale of the Kumbh is, first of all, unparalleled. And even in that scale, Mr. Yogi had to face the heat. Let me tell you that. As an administrative failure, Mr. Yogi had to face the heat of that failure. All right. Even of the scale of Kumbh. So if he being the most popular in the MOTN chief minister, listings, even if Mr. Yogi had to face the heat for the administrative failure during the Kumbh Mela, let me tell you, sir, that with a small rally in comparison, I say small when you're talking about comparing it with the Kumbh, if your administration fails...
Okay, I'll just allow him 10 seconds there. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, Haran. 10 seconds.
See, I think you have to see a distinction. There are two strategies that happen in the UP which I did not want to bring because there's not a point for it. But Hathras, instead of 80,000 people, 250,000 people attended, and the administration absolved sort of blame by saying it's a private event. 130 people died of Stampede. And second, Kumbh was organized by the government, and the deaths were completely undercounted. And how we found the actual death was because of the private hospitals count, which was ignored by the UP government. See, I did not bring this entire debate until unless it was brought because I wanted to be dignified.
Okay, Yashwant, let's not go. Let's go beyond the north and south.
Don't try to shoot the messenger, sir. My job is to ask the people and present the data, how public is feeling on this one. They look at it as an administrative failing, and they look at it as a moral failure of Vijay to accept the responsibility of what has happened. And actually, Ranjana ji, ironically, you said a line which might be summing up public reaction as well, that he is a hero as far as the screen is concerned. He failed to act like a hero in the real life situation. I think somewhere, whomsoever, as Barkha said, whomsoever advised him by not going back, not saying the whatsoever protocol.
Absolutely.
Bigger leaders with much bigger protocol issues, but behaving in a much bigger, better, responsible way for much bigger crises. So I think he was wrongly advised. I think this is going to damage, as far as the political analyst is concerned, at this point of time, this is certainly going to damage his reputation as a leadership issue. That's
okay.
What the data is.
I think we can leave it there. The numbers do speak for themselves. The people have a pretty textured opinion of what's happened. There could have been a better administrative arrangement, but the moral cross to bear is definitely that of Vijay. Ranjana Nachiyar, Sumant Raman, Salim Dharitharan, and Yashwant Deshmukh. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Take care.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.